What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and I am here tonight with one of 3 videos that we're doing. I'm so tired. So the first one is Love and Hip Hop New York. This is the reunion part 2. So without further ado, we just gonna go ahead and jump right into this, and we gonna try to knock these motherfuckers out, because like I said, this was 3 hours of Love and Hip Hop. And then we got another 3 hours next Monday with a 2-hour premiere of Atlanta, which I don't know why. And we got, the reunion part 2 of Miami. What the fuck, Mona? Like, people have full-time jobs that they gotta go to. Thankfully, I can stay up tonight because I don't go to work tomorrow, because I took off because tomorrow happens to be the 2-year anniversary of my mom's death, and it's also my grandmother's birthday. So I took off for that. So we just gonna get right to it and go on and go ahead with this bullshit. But again, Mona, fuck you and fuck VH1. I know that when y'all bring out Houston and New Orleans, y'all better have this shit figured out. Like, y'all better put that shit on Monday night. No. Don't put that shit on Monday nights. Put that shit on a Wednesday, like y'all did with Miami when it first came back this season. That was cool. We were cool with Monday nights, but then Wednesday nights. But then y'all moved it back to Mondays, like back-to-back Love and Hip Hop. That shit is tiring as fuck. But again, we're gonna get right into the video. But in another 2, after next week, it'll be better, hopefully, because Atlanta will be the only thing on, and it'll just be on an hour. I hope whichever one y'all decide to go with, if y'all decide to go with both Houston and New Orleans, I really hope that they have a new schedule for that shit. Please have a new schedule. All right, you guys. So we pick up with the reunion where it left off last week, with Safari coming and joining the cast. So Nina asked Safari, what's going on, Safari? Like, why weren't you here with the cast before now? And Safari's like, he had a family emergency that he had to take care of. And, she was like, well, why can't you just, let somebody know what was going on? He was like, I don't feel like telling none of these people nothing that's going on. When I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. And, we just not that cool. And none of them were truly, truly hurt the fact that I wasn't there. So then Nina's like, so you and Juju are not cool? He says, we cool, but we ain't close like that or none shit like that. So then we move directly into the whole Safari, Erica, and Joe Budden shit. So Joe says that he has no ill will towards Safari. And I'm just like, so if you have no ill will toward him, why are you going this hard at this dude if you don't feel shit? Like, it's stupid as fuck to me. And hold on, Safari. Oh, so he has no ill will towards Safari. He realizes now that what he thought the relationship with Safari was, it's not that. And then Safari feels like when it came down to Joe, that Joe turned up for the cameras, which I definitely I can see that, and I agree with Safari when he says that he feels like Joe turned up for the cameras. Definitely get it. And then Sin jumps into it, and Safari's like, Sin, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This is between me and Joe. And I respected Safari for doing that. Instead of Safari going back and forth with Sin, he just simply told her, this ain't got nothing to do with you. So I just want you to kind of step away from it. Let me and Joe handle this, and we good. And then him and Joe start getting into it, and Safari's like, what, I can pull up to your hotel and we can get it popping if you want. And I'm like, neither one of y'all are gonna bust a grape in the fruit fight, but whatever. So then Sid says, when it came down to the whole Erica thing, she and Joe wanted to know how to move when it came to Erica. And I'm like, because things ended badly with her and Erica. And Safari made a very, very good point. So Safari's thing was, when we were at Remy's baby shower, y'all, spoke to her. So what's the difference now? And, so Sin is like, I can be cordial with somebody, but here's my thing with Sin. When you guys were on Hip Hop Squares, you guys took a picture. You and Joe took a picture with Erica. And so I'm confused. And, Remy made the best point this whole time. She was like, since if y'all didn't see her, what is the big fucking deal, bitch? Like, that's what I just want to know. What is the issue? You guys never saw Erica. So why are you guys going so hard for a person that you guys never saw? And, you know, Safari, he does apologize to Sin, you know, for the way he came at her. And then we move over to Rich and Safari. And, you know, Safari not answering Rich's questions. And the whole thing is that Safari don't want to feel like he got to answer any of their questions because, you know, he don't want to discuss his girl, and I respect that. If you don't want to discuss your girl with people that are not your friends, that's your business, that's your prerogative. You don't have to do that shit. And then Kimbella's like, wait a minute, why are we talking about her? Like, is she coming back to the show or something? Like, let me know what's going on. So, you know, Rich, he got mad at you know, Safari, and Safari got mad because Safari was talking about his clothes were too tight, which they kind of were too tight. Even Joe's pants were too tight. They were too tight and they were see-through. But the reason why, you know, Safari did that was because of what, you know, Rich was saying. Because Rich was talking about how, you know, he not with Erica, but she's been with other people besides after him. And that was mad fucking disrespectful. Like, y'all sitting on this stage and y'all talking about this man's fiance, soon to be wife, quote. But, you know, I think they were being hella disrespectful to Safari. And then, you know, Jonathan in the audience talking about, you know, Erica got issues with you know, she got issues with all of us. She got issues with Juju. She got issues with me. Hell, I didn't even know me and the bitch had issues. And I'm like, why, again, y'all sitting here disrespecting this girl for no reason, and she's not even there to defend herself. Like, I thought that was pussified of all of them. And then when Safari was talking about Rich's pants being tight, this motherfucker gonna get up and try to run across the stage. I'm like, first of all, there's a table right there. Secondly, the crazy 88s, shout out to Roxanne for that one. The crazy 88s are all around you, so you are not going to get to him. Like, what the fuck was you trying to prove? Like, I just thought that was so fucking stupid. But, you know, and again, y'all sitting here talking about this girl. She's not there to defend herself. Y'all did not see her at one point during filming this whole season. So what is the deal? Like, somebody explain that shit to me and make me understand what the fuck is going on. All right, so next we move over to Jonathan and all of his crazy shit that he had going on this season. And, you know, Anais is not there. And, you know, Nina asked Jonathan, how was Anais doing? He says Anais is better than that. He thinks that Anais was drugged. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then Nina asked Rich, has he been in contact with Anais? He says, yeah, they talk to each other. And I'm like, wait a minute. You and Anais still talk to each other. You and Anais, the woman that you was having an affair with, and she was married. That's all I'm going to say right there. But, you know, again, she's good. So then, Nina asked Juju, why did she feel the need to go to Jonathan's party? Well, she went to the party because Jonathan and Yandy came to her graduation. So she just felt that, you know, it was the right thing to do because, you know, Jonathan's parties are very festive and whatnot. So she just decided to go there and show her support of him. So then Nina asked Jonathan, how did he feel about Juju being there? And, you know, he says that he was on all types of drugs. I'm like, okay, here we go. And he says that he wished, you know, he was talking about how he wished he didn't say that Juju was fake and phony because she's not fake and phony. And whatever. And then Rich feels like, you know, if Jonathan was in a sober mind, that he would have diffused all the situations, which, how can you diffuse something if you're at the root core of all the situations? You can't diffuse something that you are involved with. And then, you know, Sydney Star tells Jonathan that he's messy, which she wasn't lying, but Sydney Star sat there and let Jonathan read her. Like, girl, you should have clapped back. You really should have clapped back. He called her a groupie, a train wreck. He told her she dupes men and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, goddamn, man. Huh. Jonathan is annoying at times, but I don't think that what he said to Sydney Star was warranted. Like, I didn't think that. Okay, so next we move over to Mariah Lynn and the Nia stuff. So Mariah Lynn says that, you know, when she heard Nia say, whoo, child, she did put her purse down, but she put it down because she didn't want to hit Nia with the purse. And, you know, she went over there. So Nina asked, and she didn't want to fight with her. And Nina asked the question of Nia Lee. She said, so was it lighthearted or were you trying to be shady or anything? She says, no, it was lighthearted. You can listen to the way that I said it. Because if I had said it harder, then yes, I was trying to, start something. So then Nia Lee and Mariah Lynn start going back and forth with one another. And I'm like, oh my God. Nia Lee tells Mariah Lynn, like, you a little chihuahua. You don't need to come at a big pit bull like me. And again, they just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was tired of hearing it. Then Nia Lee took a low blow talking about she not Mariah Lynn's crackhead mama. I'm like, why you got to bring her mama in it? Like, damn. Now that was a true low blow. But then the reason why Nia Lee brought up her mama is because, Nia Lee said that Mariah Lynn has made fun of her scars. Like, are y'all in the first grade? Like, what the fuck, man? I'm so glad this shit is over with. First of all, this reunion could have been done in one fucking part. It didn't have to be 2 parts. It could have been 1. And we could be done because this season was not very much. Oh. All right, so we're just going to keep it pushing. All right, so next we are talking about Mano, Maggie, and Alexis. So, Nina asked Maggie, was Mano there for her? She says yes, he was there for her physically, but when it comes to the mental side, he really wasn't there for her. And then he explains why he wasn't there, because he feels like things can always get worse before they get better, which, I guess that is true, but that's not a positive outlook on life. Like I don't know how anybody could look at like that. And then, Nina asked Maggie, has, her music helped her with her PTSD? And she says no, that it hasn't helped her because she hasn't really done any music. And, she's talking about how she can't dance or she can't run. And, then, she asked Mano about Maggie's music, if he feels she can do it. And he says, yeah, I feel like she can do it. But the reason why he had her do that her business, her hair and all that stuff, was so that she had a side hustle in case, the music career never took off, which I understand that. And then Nina asked about the song, My Bitch Is Better Than Yours. And so both Alexis and Mano say that they, that he didn't ask her to be on that song, that what it was since, Alexis was having her issues with her label. They all in drill. Treyway, Shoddy, they are literally all still in fucking jail. And then Tekashi 6ix9ine, that little snitch. We're not gonna go on that one. But Alexis says that that's when she was, like I said, looking for a new team. And Mano says that Maggie is actually surprising him with the work that she's doing. They are in a good space with one another. And Nina asks, do you guys want to get married, have kids? And she says she had a vision for her life, but it's not going as planned. But she would love to have his last name, but only in due time. So, she's cool with riding the wave out for as long as it takes. As long as it don't take 10 years like it did with Jewels and Kimbella, you're good. All right, you guys. So next we discuss Rich and Miracle. So Rich says that Miracle is going to trial on April 19th. And, Nina asks, so do you know what kind of sentence she's facing? He says, yeah, at least 20 years in prison. I'm like, God damn, that's a long ass fucking time. And then he said that they talk about Ashley. And he thought that Ashley was doing good with school. But lo and behold, while she was in school, she was, fearful that, hey, my mama might be going to jail. And if my mama go to jail, then I'm going to have to drop out of school and take care of the kids. And, that just weighed heavily on her. But he says that that's not, something that's going to happen. Because she can't take care of herself and take care of those kids at the same time. And I definitely agree with that. Because that would be a huge burden on a girl that's her age. Because Ashley is 19, 20 or something like that. That would be, really, really hard. So then, Nina asked Remy, does she have any advice for him? And she was like, yeah, don't go to trial. So Nina was like, so you suggest that she take the plea deal? And Remy was like, yeah, because it's not just her that's going to suffer. It's the kids that's going to suffer. And she got to think about the kids. and it took me a minute to get what Remy was saying, because I had to kind of think about what's going on with Kimbella and Jewels. If the thing is, if she takes that plea deal, it could be less than what the 20 years is. And if she goes to court and fights it and loses, then, you know, she can be facing 20 years, you know. So I definitely got that. And then, you know, Nina went around and asked people for their advice. She asked Kimbella. I 100% completely listening to Kimbella. But I did hear what Yandy said. Yandy said that, you know, when it comes to Rich, instead of him doing FaceTime and whatnot with Ashley, he needs to actually get his ass on a plane and fly to Memphis or Mississippi, wherever she is, and, you know, just spend time with her, talk to her face to face. And I definitely agreed with that one. All right, so I'm about to sum up the last two things all in one, because they didn't go together, but it wasn't much. So we're talking to Remy and Pap about the new baby. Remy talking about how she wants the baby to be better than she was. She wants her to be a wholesome little girl. You know, and then Nina asked Pap, why did you dress up in the suit when Remy went into labor? He said he wanted his daughter to see him in a professional version of him. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And you know, they say she's perfect. And, you know, Nina asked him, are there plans to have any other kids? And, you know, Pap says that Remy told him, as long as it doesn't spoil the golden child, that in 2020 they'll try again. But, you know, Remy, and we all know that's because it was in the blogs, that after Remy had the baby, she went through so much, you know, complications where she lost blood. And, you know, we'll see. My prayers go with them if they do this again, because like I said, just the stuff that she went through. I pray that if they do it, that she's happy and healthy and able to carry the baby to term. And then lastly, we had Alexis on the stage. Nina was talking to Alexis. I couldn't get past Alexis's teeth and that Rapunzel looking ass wig. Oh God. So, you know, Nina asked her about, you know, the backlash that she got from people when said she was on Medicaid. Well, it's not her that's on Medicaid. It's her daughter who is on Medicaid. And Alexis is not rich, so those doctor's bills, they're not going to pay themselves. And she can't pay them because one of them was, what, $20,000? So, yeah, she needs Medicaid to help alleviate the stress. So, people, leave Alexis alone about the fucking Medicaid. Please. And then, you know, she talked about the whole thing between Fetty, One-Eyed Jack, and Solo Lucci, how, you know, at one point One-Eyed Jack was like, so is that nigga really the, you know, your baby daddy? Oh God, he's not the baby daddy. You are. So that is the end of season 9. They showed some highlights from the season. I didn't even watch them. But that was it for Love and Hip Hop season 9. It's in the books. We're done. So we'll be back in the fall. Well, yeah, the fall, winter for season 10 of Love and Hip Hop New York. So like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later for Love and Hip Hop Miami season 2 finale, and for Love and Hip Hop Miami season 2 reunion part 1. I'm tired as fuck, man.